What's up, guys? I'm Eliot Thompson.
I'm Breck Gordon.
I'm Chris Metcalfe.
And I'm Danny Szlauderbach.
And this is the Pure Chaos Party Podcast. We have a special guest today here to tell us about a party.
That's right, guys.
So natural, Breck.
I go into like news anchor.
I couldn't tell if we were. I should have asked if we were going to do like casual conversation style or if we're hosting a show.
We're figuring that out.
How autistic Breck is in the moment. It's really seems to vary. Sometimes she's really loosey-goosey, and other times she's like, "And party you did."
Hello today.
Well, there are some podcasts that it's like we just don't acknowledge that we're being recorded, and then we just listen to it afterwards. And there's some where it's like a show. So I should have asked before, I guess.
Well,
We don't know,
Yeah,
so-
we clearly.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been able
You're
to
more
answer the
professional than
question.
we are right now, so.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's do this then. All right, I'm here to tell you about perhaps the most legendary party in the history of Kansas.
Hell
Which-
yeah.
It's not saying much, I guess, because it's Kansas. But are there any other like really famous parties? That's when I started thinking about the Populace. There's like the Populace Party in Kansas would be another famous
The
one.
Tea Party, yeah, it's pretty famous.
No, but that's the thing about. Well, is that a Kansas thing? The Tea Party?
Wait, I can't tell if you guys are talking about like political part, like what kind
Yeah,
of
political
the Populace
parties.
Party, because the original populist movement started in Kansas.
Really?
And it was like the Midwestern and Western states in the 1890s, and the term populism was actually like coined on a train going from Topeka to Kansas City.
Huh.
So this great Kansas City author named Thomas Frank, we interviewed him for the documentary that I'm going to tell you about, because he wrote about in one of his most famous books called "What's the Matter with Kansas." He wrote about the band. He quoted the band in the book, and his most recent book is about populism and how we shouldn't use the term because it's been like appropriated or it's repurposed and like erroneously attached to any sort of like anti-establishment movement that's perceived to be like angry common folk, when really like the original populists from the 1890s were like progressive. They're all about like women's suffrage, like joining the southern black farmers with the northern or urban workers to like fight against monopolies and stuff.
Isn't that how like Democrats and Republicans used to basically be opposite than what they are now?
Sorta.
Like Democrats is the political party that like the KKK derived out
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
So like clearly we're not talking about the same Democrats then.
Yeah, it switched
we
in
are
the
now.
civil rights movement.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, that's
Thanks, Democrats.
a tangent. Though I was gonna.
I'm not sure if you're like for which part.
What's that?
When Chris is like, "Thanks, Democrats," I'm like,
He doesn't know.
I don't know.
Let's move on.
I'm just trying to get people, I'm just trying to make the people listening unsure whether they're mad or not.
Well, we're supposed to be talking about parties. We're sort of like punk parties, and that's what this one is. So let's get to that one. So this one's all about punk rock, or post-punk more specifically, and chaos and destruction. It's a Ron Klaus house wrecking party, and people still talk about it today. It was like front page news in the Wichita Eagle back in July 1979. There was a hit song written about it by the band Big Dipper.
and to get on the front page of the Wichita News, you needed to really. I mean, there's a lot going on. There was a lot of competition for that front page
Wichita
spot.
in the
and
late 70s was a thriving metropolitan area, and the Wichita Eagle.
if
was
somebody
a-
saw
was
like a gopher, that would probably make it on. If there was like a cow with like, 13 udders.
I thought you were going to say where its spots look like
No,
America.
it's true. Where we met in Lawrence, Kansas, it was like a big news story that there was a family of foxes that people kept seeing around town.
Yeah?
Yeah, do you remember the foxes?
I don't remember the Foxes, but
So this guy's name is Ron Klaus.
Ron Klaus.
Ron Klaus.
He was the bassist in a band called The Embarrassment. And the best way to tell you about the party is really to like frame it like around the band and my involvement, my relationship to them, which I ended up making a movie about them. Okay, so I'll
What's
try
the
to-
movie called?
It's called We Were Famous, You Don't Remember.
Okay, and where can we watch this movie?
It is still like finishing up its festival run.
Okay.
And in the fall, it'll be it'll be streaming, and there's actually going to be a New York screening. It's being set up right now, but that'll probably be June, July.
Okay,
yeah.
sweet.
We can't wait.
Yeah.
These two can't wait to learn what Wichita, Kansas is.
Listen, got to get the promos out now because I'll forget later. So
I like how Kansas is sort of like universally internationally known as like a place that you reference when you're someplace better. Like we're not in Kansas anymore.
well,
like,
Wizard
that's
of
like
Oz fucked us.
That's
up.
what I'm saying.
Made
Like
that
the
happen.
Wizard of Oz, like people in England, people in Germany know about Kansas from Wizard of Oz as being like, oh, you go someplace cool. Guess you're not in Kansas, whatever that means. We are not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's average. It's all
Or
about
what's the
mediocrity.
matter with
Yeah.
Kansas?
Yeah.
I like the idea that a German guy's saying it and he's like using it in the wrong context. You know what I mean? like two German guys go to a restaurant that they don't like. He's like, I guess we're not in Kansas anymore. You know, like he's like using it wrong.
It's just the struggle whenever German is brought up to just not like do some like fucking Holocaust joke. it's just
Kansas
right
or
there every
Holocaust.
time, you know?
That's why it's fun to do anything but that, because just anything in that voice is so fun.
We're from Kansas, and we were part of the great house party of Wichita. How fun is that? Not a single Jew in sight. Fuck this house up, bro. I'm the bass player, Hans Frimmel.
This is actually going to come back around in a surprising way. I just realized there's a connection here. But
Hell yeah.
all right.
So but I feel like Kansas would probably be like a fertile ground for sort of angsty punk rock music.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and that stereotype of like averageness and mediocrity is a big part of like we try to play that up in the movie because it's like it's kind of boring just to say like how many towns around the country have there been where it's like you should have heard this band, they didn't get big enough, right?
Yeah.
But there was always something more about this band. So like okay, so back in the early 2000s, my brothers and I are growing up in Wichita, and we had originally from the Northeast, moved to Wichita when I was like 8, and so I mean that's pretty early in retrospect. But at the time, still we always felt like outsiders, and you know we were really into like we did a lot of theater. We were like little cinephiles, you know, like original film bros basically. That's what my brothers and I were. That's where that term was coined, I think, was with us. But so like around that time, the whole rock rebirth is happening, right? Like early 2000s, Strokes, Interpol, The Rapture, The Walkman, that kind of thing. And because my brother was like, he was working at a museum, he started hanging out with these guys that were like, 40 years old, and he's a teenager. They're showing him all this, like we're discovering like the Velvet Underground, the Clash, the Ramones, all this shit through his friends, through the rebirth rock movement in the early 2000s, and then like thrown into the mix was this band, The Embarrassment, and like they didn't fit this idea of Wichita at all or Kansas at all. It was like they were from the late 70s, but they sounded like they could have been as old as like the Ramones or the Clash, like going back early in the 70s.
Their sound was from late. How old were these guys?
So they're late 70s, early 80s. So they're like it's for contemporaries were like REM. And the Replacements. Okay. Those are like their biggest contemporaries that they would run into on the road, like Husker Du.
And
right?
these the Embarrassment were still kicking around.
No. They were like legendary.
Okay.
Because they just had this.
They're in the vault.
Okay.
Yeah, the 79 to 83 heyday. And so by the time we're discovering music in the early 2000s, it's like this distant thing. It's just like this legend. They have this legendary status. And so to discover that at that age, it was like a before and after moment, right? Like you're like I was like 14, 15.
And it was one of these like 40-year-old guys who was like, you got to check out this band, man. Like
Hometown heroes.
Yeah. Dude, in every punk scene, like when I was in bands in high school, like, 15, 16 playing these hardcore shows, like there were just like these 40, 45-year-old dudes who were just like stoked to hang out with us. And we were like, yeah, of course they want to hang out. It's like, we're fucking sick, dude. and then in like retrospect, I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't name you one 16-year-old. Like, I don't hang out with children.
You're not old enough yet.
But it wasn't like all of them. Some of them definitely
We'll
were
see
creepy,
where you are in 5
and some
more
of them
years,
just
though.
were like punks and like punks who were like, yeah, the punks has always been a thing of the youth. I'm still a punk. I'm 40. And they would just like bless you with really sick refs. It was almost like they're grooming you, but just for like, sick bands they
need a
like.
bass player in 5 years.
They're like, hey,
Not to molest you.
Like-
just because they might need a drummer soon.
yeah.
Yeah.
You get in their van and he's just like fucking putting on The Damned. And he's like, you ever hear this shit, man?
Yeah.
This part's not going to come back around. The Nazi part, we'll get back to that, but the pedophilia part is
This 40-year-old
Let that one go. Let that one go.
too far. That's a little bit too far.
Don't be a dick, Elliot.
All right, so how do I describe this band to you? It's like, well, I'll show you the pictures in a bit, but it's like nerd rock. They coined the term to describe themselves was called blister pop. Fast-paced, like brainy yet tuneful.
Blister
like truly,
pop,
yeah,
yeah.
that was their thing. Like that was like
That's like
captured it.
multi-level.
Yeah, and like truly defies categorization, and like so they were. It's not just that they were unique and that they looked cool, because they had these two great photographers that followed them around that like it gave it this like legitimacy.
Yeah.
Like they gave them this legitimacy, like the photographers, like in their practice space. They just looked like a legitimate band, and it was like this short heyday from Wichita. At the same time, and discovering all this other stuff, it didn't connect. It didn't make sense, and so but it's not just that. It's the fact that they got really close to breaking through. Like all these stories about how they're on the same circuit as REM, and how REM if the Embarrassment opened for you, it would get the crowd. They were so good that you wouldn't want to follow them. So the story was that REM was like shut down their career because they stopped letting them open for them.
Classic conspiracy. I
Yeah.
love a good conspiracy
We were
like
so
that.
close to getting Mike Mills from REM to it was like a missed thing where my co-director, we'd been talking for months, and he was like, well, I'm going to be in New York these dates and that'll work, but he had to be in Europe right then. So it was and he didn't want to send somebody in his place, which I totally get, because like if you have your one big high profile interview, you don't want to miss it. But
For the drama, did you guys put in the doc like REM refused to?
Yeah,
speak with us?
right. Did not respond to requests for comment.
Throw REM under the bus, bro. You guys suck.
we were so close. We couldn't confirm any of this. It was always like the singer of the band says that REM stole one of like the band's songs, and so, but we couldn't interview them to confirm this stuff. So they're referenced in it just through like archival footage, but like we couldn't play up any of that like personal drama stuff.
Right.
So and like John Cale from the Velvet Underground, they opened for him, and then he was like, they were in talks to produce the same record. They had this big New York tour where they're on like the front of the New York Rocker. It's like so close to breaking through, but it never quite happened. So that just added to the mysteriousness of the whole band.
The lore.
And so I always had this like distorted view of like how big they really were. Like even as a teenager, I knew like this wasn't like Velvet Underground level like legendary status. But I had this idea that if you went into like an old record store in any city and you dropped the Embarrassment's name, the owner would be like, yeah, I know who you're talking about. But I knew that it was probably just still this limited thing from back then. But figuring that out was part of this whole project, but that's part of the reason I always felt like it had to be done. So, but everyone had this question, like, how does a band like this, with a sound like this, come from a place like Kansas? And part of the answer to that is that they're like perhaps the quintessential post-punk band. And by that I mean, like, so they're not just they're teaching themselves how to play the Stooges and the Velvet Underground as a way to learn instruments and that kind of thing. But when the Sex Pistols went on their infamous 1978 Anarchy tour across the U.S. and they stopped in Tulsa, the band, three of the guys, it ended up being four, but three of them were already playing together. They drove down in a blizzard and like greeted the Sex Pistols in front of Kane's Ballroom, which was this like legendary country western place, and they were like the only ones there in the snowstorm, like having a snowball fight. They're like exchanging these like punk badges or buttons with Sid Vicious, and they go and watch the show, and it's like this literal passing of the torch that ignited this like fire in the Midwest, and it's like the Embarrassment picked it up. And when I heard that story, it was like this thing gets more and more reasons to make this thing. And
Sounds like how like a superhero gets his powers. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
It's like, you're like fine, but then you come in contact.
It almost
with
sounds like a Thanksgiving style exchange where these British rockers invade
They taught
America
them how to grow
and
corn.
bestow upon the native Kansas punks
It's true.
wisdom and gifts, and then they
Diseases.
and then there's a friendly snowball fight to to consecrate the
No,
bond.
there's footage of this because somebody was following the Sex Pistols on that tour, and there's excellent film footage of the whole thing. Like you see, like religious protesters out there with signs, like this, spreading evil across the Midwest. But like that was the moment, and it was like the Embarrassment were the ones that they hadn't yet formed the band, but they were there to like pick up. No, but Superhero. The guitar player, literally says he was like seeing a superhero because Sid Vicious with the spiky hair was so
Right.
tall. And they're just sitting like, all right. So they watched the show, and they're like, after that was like the last thing. They're like, now it's time to actually form our own band. So
How much time had passed between them meeting the Sex Pistols and them starting the band?
Well, January '78 was the Sex Pistols show because that's when the snowstorm was, and then the house party that I'm going to tell you about happened in July 1979. And by that time, they already had a bit of a following, so it would have been months by the time they actually formed the band.
Hours, even.
Could have been.
They went home and right down into the basement and got to work.
So, okay. So I had this idea that, like, that somebody was just, the world was just waiting for this thing. But I was just, I went to college, and I just had this idea that someday, if I ever got serious about, like, filmmaking, that this would be the thing to do. But years go by, and move here. We hang out here for a while, not really doing anything, but
That happens. Move to New York. You move to New York with a big plan, and then you get here and you're like, I gotta just figure out how to live.
Yeah.
And then after you live a day, you're like, I'm tired.
Yeah. I guess my dream is being a barback now.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dream is being able to afford Coke on the weekend.
Wait, sorry, just I'm not sure that everybody knows like what the difference between punk and post-punk is. Would you be able to break that down?
I've been wondering that, but I figured I was gonna wait.
Like what that distinction is.
That's why I love that Sex Pistols story, because it makes it like so literal. Like punk
Yeah.
is they represent like the anti-establishment ethos of punk. It's just like fuck off. It doesn't matter how good we sound. Like there's no decorum. Like fuck everything. Like it's called Anarchy in the UK. It's the name of their album and the bus and the tour and everything. And post-punk is the band, the generation after that, directly after that was like, oh, we can do this. Like we don't need music,
including
connections.
Public Image Limited, which is from and is Johnny Rotten.
Was that a record label?
That's his band.
It's a band.
Like a seminal post-punk band.
Oh, okay.
Fronted by the guy from the Sex Pistols.
Okay.
After I thought he started that before, like he had already broken off before he died. I thought he died like. Wait, you said Johnny Rotten, not Sid. Sorry, I was thinking Sid Vicious. Yes. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so we're in New York. Your dreams are squashed.
They're
You're trying to survive.
They're sitting there. I mean, that's where I bought my first camera, so it wasn't totally squashed. That's where this whole thing started. But so after that, I move, eventually living in New Orleans, and that's when I'm like, okay, I gotta get serious. Like this thing has to happen. So I make my first phone call, which is to
Ever?
Yeah.
my very.
He got a phone.
It's a comedy podcast. Okay. I'm fucking with you. Keep going.
In Kansas. In Kansas, they do.
We don't have phones in Kansas.
That's the crucial
That I
part of
believe.
this story.
Yeah.
Is that that's a technology that just recently arrived there. But I just got my first iPhone yesterday. No, it is true though. I did just replace it, which was a whole other nightmare. But I haven't changed my wallpaper since 2012, since my first iPhone.
What is it?
It is. It's a exhibit at the Guggenheim. It was a James Turrell exhibit. You want to see it?
Oh, I thought you meant like exhibit like X to the Z. Like I pimped my
Yeah,
ride.
he
Yeah,
saw
like this
exhibit
cool-
at the Guggenheim.
It's an
I
exhibit.
saw that.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
When you lie
We
on
come
the
from
floor.
different worlds.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
it's staying.
So
as my
that's so
wallpaper.
Kansas of you to not change your wallpaper on your iPhone.
In 11 years.
Man,
That's tradition.
I was really
traditional
hoping for a picture
values.
of just exhibit standing in front of the Guggenheim. Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Where are we?
Oh yeah, New
Okay,
York. You
so
bought
I
a
make my
camera.
very first. No, I'm in New Orleans. I make my very first call on the telephone.
Oh
I
right,
just
right.
learned
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this.
Okay, rotary phone.
I call my brother's one of the guys who invited him into his band back in Wichita when he was a teenager. But he was the manager of the band. That was sort of the entrance or the.
He was the
connection.
manager of the
My
Embarrassment.
brother's friend was the manager of the Embarrassment. His name's
Okay.
Dan Rouser, and he's just sort of remained a family friend. And so I knew if I was going to call somebody to start this project, it would be him. So I'm like, I call and I'm like, okay, I think we might be perfectly positioned to do this. The world's waiting for it. Let's make it happen. And he's like, well, somebody actually already did have that idea, and he started about 10 years ago. And his name's Dan Featherston. He lives in Brooklyn. He's a filmmaker, and he had a band called Oxford Collapse back in the early 2000s, and the whole thing's kind of stalled. So like he shot all these interviews. It sparked this reunion tour in 2006 in Wichita and Lawrence, which I actually went to, not knowing of this project. But so I found out immediately that somebody else had already started it, which wasn't discouraging because like the idea that somebody from New York had already like caught wind of this and thought it was a good idea was sort of confirmed the fact that it was
That person
worth
was not
doing.
from Kansas.
No, Dan's from Connecticut
And also,
lived
that's
here.
almost like a prerequisite, I think, for like a Brooklyn dude at a bar who's just like, yeah, I've been working on this documentary.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
Midwest
It's,
band.
It's kind of, we've hit some snafus, but
It's kind of stalled right now.
Yeah.
it's on the
We're a little
back burner
stalled
right
out
now.
on
I'm just waiting to hear from REM.
It's true. And he knew it too. So it was like, he always says it had become his life's embarrassment that he hadn't finished this thing. So, but when I found out about that, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to interfere. I'll do my own thing. I'll start shooting my own interviews. So I did in like 2017. I moved back to Kansas City. My in-laws still live in Wichita, so we'd go there often. And I just started interviewing as I was there. And as I'm doing that, this house wrecking party keeps coming up. Like everybody I interview tells stories about it. There's this Wichita Eagle headline where the wrecked house is on the front page. It looks like really ominous, and I see photocopies of that. It's just like there's no like original hard copies of the paper, but it's just like these shitty scans. And so it quickly becomes clear that this party is like an essential part of the band's story. And then over the next year, it's like 2018. Obviously, I'm starting to wonder if I can make an entire feature-length documentary about myself, or if I'm going to become one of these guys
Back burner
in
guys.
a bar that's got this documentary that's just stalling out. So I start to zero in on this house wrecking party. It's like a short doc. Like maybe it could just be something to show for all this like research that I've done. Whether it's like a YouTube video or I was thinking about a podcast. That's what this thing is that I brought. It was like what could be turned into a podcast script. Or maybe a short doc could turn into like something larger, eventually a feature-length doc or something. And no one seems to have an original copy of the Wichita Eagle article. So on one of my trips back,
But you could even go one of those like library things.
That's exactly-
where you're like,
that's exactly what I'm about to say. So go to the Wichita Eagle, go to the basement, get the microfilm, tell them what I'm looking for. Stories are a little hazy. They're like, it could have been spring, could have been summer. I know it was warm outside, so I've got to grab like March to August and figure out like when this thing was. So I'm in the basement of the Wichita Eagle in downtown Wichita. It's like this old building, and like getting close to close. It's not in March. It's not in April. Like scrolling through, and I keep scrolling through these headlines. It's like BTK. Do you know about BTK?
the BTK killer.
Yeah.
So from Wichita, right? So I keep like new murders, but this is way before anybody like had solved the thing. So it's a very like investigative reporter type situation in this dark basement.
And you're like, this is so boring. Get me to the party.
Yeah.
Enough of this murder business.
Fucking serial killer shit. Sick of it.
So I was getting close. I keep scrolling past this BTK stuff, and then finally, on the very
He had a
last
fun
scroll-
house.
It's like, I'm trying to
His
make a
house was
podcast
cool.
people will listen to. Enough with serial killers.
I know someone who the BTK killer is their family friend and used to babysit them.
Damn.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
My wife's stepdad. It was his eye doctor. So he's like,
Wow.
like staring into the guy's eyes and still sees his wife. It's insane.
Kansas is the smallest place on the planet. How do you guys both have family friends who are independently raised by and like
You want to hear something crazier though?
of one of the most famous serial killers.
It's Dan. So Dan, the manager who I called, that was like my entry point to this whole thing. My brother wanted to make the documentary about him, not the band, because he's just a really interesting guy. He worked for the police department. He was a journalist in Wichita, managed the band, and at one point he was the prime suspect for BTK. They raided his house twice.
Oh my
God.
because he was a journalist, and they passed the letter along. Everybody was like, so who's touched this letter? The police were like trying to figure it out, and they were like, well, Dan gave it to me.
Man, that would be so fucking
Wow.
sick if like the BTK killer was just like in a really good punk band in the scene and like almost like rap lyrics now where like the songs are just clues, you know, to like these crimes.
Yeah, that'd be sick. They can never find him because he's always doing road gigs.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the last roll, and I finally stumble upon it. It's on the front page.
You get through all this boring ass
Yeah.
BTK shit.
bullshit. Wichita Eagle. Summer 1979. And it's Thursday, July 26th, which means that the party was the previous Saturday, Thursday, July 21st, 1979. So I finally have the date locked down because nobody could figure out. Okay, so I've got the new scan of the newspaper article, start to put together the narrative. Around that time, I find out that one of the party goers, who was like just part of their inner circle, played with another band that played at this house party that he had recorded. He'd been like walking around with like a little cassette player from the late 70s, and so that actual audio existed from the party.
Oh, shit.
And that's back when there weren't smartphones, but people were just saying shit, you know. People were just speaking their mind. They weren't worried about
I had a
getting
Talk
canceled.
That's basically what it
I
was.
fucking recorded everything
Yeah.
on that Talk Boy.
What was the headline?
The headline was "Strangers Crashed His Party." I think that's what it was. Where is it?
Now, are these pictures available online?
Well, on the Embarrassment's website they are.
Okay.
So, strangers crashed his party and had a smashing time. Because that's what happened. I'll get to
That
that.
headline rules.
Yeah.
Right underneath Carter, windfall profits tax vital, which doesn't rule. Carter, windfall profits tax
That's one of the most
vital.
boring headlines there's ever been.
I don't even know what that means.
So, okay. So that's when I knew this thing, like in some form, this really had to come together. And I also kept hearing from Dan, the band's manager, that he remembers having crime scene photos from the next morning. And he didn't have them. He didn't know who would have them. So that's when I filed a request with the city. And I got access to the crime scene photos, which
All right, I think we need to stop beating around the bush here. We got to get to this fucking party, yo.
Well-
I'm ready to hear about this fucking party.
Yeah.
We're talking
Right.
about crime scenes, headlines, how you met the guy who knew the guy in another band. Give me a party, baby. Let's fucking go.
All right.
I'm ready to smash shit.
We
Did
had
you
to-
bring Coke?
I got some if you need it.
That's a white party, right? I Googled white party.
You can make it whatever you want to be.
and that's the first thing that came up, and now I know that white
Holy
party is
shit,
something
dude. These
different.
photos are crazy.
Okay, so where am I? Okay, so now I got all the pieces, and I started to put together this narrative draft of the party, what everybody said about it. So now shades are coming off.
Oh,
Wow.
shades are coming on. That means
Okay.
it's party time.
It's party time. We're gonna see how bloodshot your eyes are.
Okay, so basically what happened was, so Ron Klaus, so he's the only one that's not from Kansas, he's from Iowa, and he's got this house on 349 Indiana Street near downtown Wichita, and they practice in his living room.
He's in the band.
Yeah, they met in college. They were all art school kids at WSU. He's like a ceramist and like a car guy, and he plays the bass, so he's
In the Embarrassment.
in the Embarrassment. So that's where they're practicing, them and some other bands. And they had some shows there, but out of nowhere, the landlord comes to him and says, like, you guys got to move out because I'm gonna demolish the house. I've sold it. It's gonna be turned into a parking lot or something. And he's like, I don't know if he says it out loud, but he's basically like, well, if you're gonna knock it down, like, you're gonna have a house wrecking party. Like he he said he'd had some like barn house wrecking parties in Iowa. Like he lived out on a farm or whatever. So so they
Sounds fun.
They would have that in Iowa. It sounds fun at first, but then it seems scary later. Like the people who are still doing it for too long, you're just like, damn, dude.
So he just starts telling everybody like it's gonna be 3 bands. For like their Embarrassment's gonna play. It's a band called the Bradfords, and there's an all-girl band called the Inevitable. Okay, all Wichita post-punk bands, and they're gonna destroy the house as they're doing it. All right, so they start to tell everybody that's like in their scene, which at the time is really just like,
Bin Laden just thought that, he was just like, this is my version of a
house wrecking party, an eviction party.
an eviction party. It's like, let's just make it fun, dude.
Somebody tipped them off. There's a lot of asbestos in the World Trade Center.
The hijackers have the embarrassments on. The fucking plane. I love post-punk. Yeah. Did you know that they knew the Sex Pistols?
Not in Kansas anymore.
And it's fucking rocking, bro.
Right, Bin Laden's just a huge Wizard of Oz fan. He's like, I love
I don't think we're from Kansas anymore. Yeah.
what they did with that witch.
Didn't they find a bunch of shit like in his bunker, like a bunch of funny photos and
Porn.
Yeah, a bunch of porn.
Mostly porn.
And Embarrassment record.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Kim Kardashian's sex tape and the Embarrassment record. Yeah.
Embarrassments on copy cassette tape.
All right, so it's just like word of mouth, right? You just tell everybody the house is gonna get knocked down, so we're gonna destroy it, bring tools and stuff. Bill, the guitar player, compared it to like a carnival, like car bash thing where you're like destroying the car. It's just like that's what we're gonna do while the band's playing. And by the time the party starts, like people are driving by and just like start to see what's going on, and like so strangers are coming.
I got a tire iron.
Yeah.
There's nothing more fun than sanctioned destruction.
Yeah.
There's that place in the city where you could go just to
break
smash
things.
shit.
A rec
Yeah.
room.
They have full, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. I did hurt myself doing it once. I had 2 metal bats, and I was doing like a double windmill at this
God.
printer, and one of the bats, I missed the
bonked
printer,
yourself?
and I just hit myself right in the shin. I had you could hear it. It was like, I was like, fuck! Double windmill with the T-ball bats. And then I got more mad at it.
Yeah, did anyone end up hospitalized from this party?
Yeah, so Dan.
Hell yeah. This is what I'm talking about.
So people are just
Rouser.
getting out of the cars and just coming in.
Showing up.
Yeah, and so Rouser says when he drove up, he saw that he thought it was odd there was like a policeman sitting around the corner, just like casually sitting there. He thought he was waiting for backup, but he sees one person being led away from the house with blood streaming down her face. I think it was one of the girls from the Inevitable, the girl band that played. And
that wasn't even an injury sustained. That was part of their shtick.
Yeah.
She fucking smashes a bottle on her head.
And he saw a chair lying on the ground, like a window casement. Somebody pushed a chair out of an upstairs window, and it hit her on the way down. Oh. So that's
Somebody always has to fuck it up.
So he said that's when he realized
Like
that
at that
this
candy
was,
show when that girl got decked with a chair.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That'd be me. Like, I'd be trying to get creative with the damage, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to throw this chair through this window, and then it, like, hits somebody.
No, you would hurt yourself.
I'd do both. Yeah. I'd be like, let's
Then
add
you'd
fire.
fall out
I'd be
the
like
window.
the guy,
I am
let's
the
add
chair.
fire to the mix and, like, light something on fire.
No, that's part of it. Like,
Oh, hell yeah. Yo, I should have been at this party, dude.
that's one of the best parts of the recording is Alice from The Inevitable, as like during their set in between the songs, gets on and says like, "Please stop setting fire to the basement." And somebody's setting a fire in the basement.
That's smart. You got to get the fire coming up from the beneath.
Right. It's you want people who like love breaking shit, but also like aren't like trained or truly psycho. You don't want somebody being like, oh, good, my bomb that I made in my mom's basement
Yeah.
would
Right.
be perfect for this house party.
Right. They need to be dumb but willing to smash.
Yeah.
Yeah. People must have been like peeing and pooping in the house too, right? Like I would definitely
Probably.
like poop in the house or like make myself throw up. just
Yeah,
'cause
everybody
it's
has
fun.
to have their Gigi Allen moment
I don't know what
at the
that
punk
is.
party.
I don't know
Gigi
if I would
Allen.
consider pooping. I'm trying to destroy, not add. Just.
But it's like part of the chaos.
An aroma.
It's just like fun.
It's just fun to shit.
just fun.
Yeah.
He just loves it.
Yeah.
He just
It's
loves
like, we're going
it.
nuts in here, you know?
No,
Let's
there's
just
the
might as well
toilet-
poop on the
There's the
ground.
toilet pick right there. I mean, something
Hell.
happened there. No, that's what people said. They said anything you could imagine doing
Poop
to a
in the
house, this
bathtub.
is your
Yeah.
chance
Go
to do
crazy.
it.
Yeah.
They were getting creative, like
That's
throwing things out the windows, coming back,
Chris is
bringing it back in, throwing it out again.
See, these people know. They're doing what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're
Chris
predicting
is
all
like,
this stuff. Were
I'm
you
trying
there?
to go crazy. I'm trying
It's
to
just like my
Trying to
dream.
shit.
I'm trying to take a poopy. I'm trying to make a doo-doo.
Like I would take a hammer and like smash a hole in like the drywall and then poop in the hole,
Oh
and
my-
then just like light that and then move on to the next room. Like just let's go, you know.
Sure.
Yes, so Rouser says that. So
You could
Jim,
shit that many times?
I'll like do like a dog, like little parts.
Ah, okay. Uh-huh.
So Jim was their sound guy who was in one of the earlier iterations of the band, and Rouser, the manager, says that Jim had gotten an axe and was hacking away at the main fuse box. But Jim's like, no, it was an aluminum fence pole off the chain link fence, and he was swinging at the walls in the kitchen. And so Dan's like, I don't know if that's the best idea for you to be swinging at the power box. And he says that Jim was just like, stop, get the fuck away from me. I'm going to work in here and leave me alone. And so Jim
Hell yeah.
But then Jim said he heard that story later on and was like, well, why didn't you stop me? That seemed really dangerous. So,
See, I'd be like, hey man, if you're gonna be hitting the fuse box with an axe, use these rubber gloves. That way you don't get electrocuted. Have fun. Also, I pooped in the
I would
corner. Just so you know.
I'll just be like, but let me break a couple eggs on you so that when
Yeah.
when your smoke comes out of your ears, we can all
We
have
can
breakfast.
Yeah. We can eat off your crispy body.
so Jim's outside smoking a cigarette at some point, and two cops finally walk up.
Why is he
And-
outside?
Well, he said he
Fucking with you. I'd be smoking it inside.
he said he had to go out sometimes, just sort of like take it in, look at the work of art.
Oh
that was
yeah,
being
that's true. Yeah,
created.
that's a good point.
And so these
Not
cops
everybody's
come
so in the moment. They're just
Yeah, you gotta
shitting
step away from the
uncontrollably.
canvas sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you can't be painting all hours. You gotta step away from it for a minute.
And so the cops are like, what's going on? And Jim just says like, no, the landlord said we could do it. It's no problem. The cops were like, all right, well, see you later. And they just left.
That's amazing. It's like
Wow.
if you go big enough, the cops are like, yeah, they'd probably, If it was like one guy like smashing a window, the cops would be like, what is
Right.
going on? But if
You're hiding in plain
If
sight.
you've got like 20 little, I mean, how many people were at this party? Like, what's the body count here? Are we talking like 100 people? Are we talking like 15?
I'm thinking, it had to be somewhere between 50 and 100 at some point. I think the Wichita Eagle probably has a more accurate estimate. We might have to.
It's probably hard
to
to keep
reference
track
them.
of, right? Because like some people are coming and going. Like some people might have just stopped by and been like, "Yeah, I dismantled the water heater and left." You know what I mean? But then there's other people who are
Yeah.
staying the entire time.
Right.
So it's
And
around
the
that.
bands are just playing. The bands are singing the
Yeah.
soundtrack to this party. That's where it's just there's all
That's
this
right.
percussion coming from people just like hitting the fuse box, hitting fucking the fence, the toilets being smashed, and then there's also like this post-punk soundtrack to it. In
Exactly.
The background.
Yeah.
So fucking sick.
It would have been funny if like they're in the middle of playing and then the guy like hits the fuse box and it cuts the power. And they're like,
Yeah,
"Damn
that's
it."
what I was just
We can't
thinking.
play.
Did
It's
they
like
have
literally
power?
The only thing that should be remain.
I think you were there. You keep predicting the next thing that's going to happen. So apparently, one of the band's photographers was up in the second floor bathroom and plugged up all the drains and just like turned the door and turned the water on.
What is this, Home
Left it.
Alone?
And so yeah, it
We're the
sounds
Wet
like it.
Bandits.
And at some point, water comes gushing down the stairway, and that kicked the water, the electricity off, and I think that was like the end of the party.
Who's got an acoustic guitar?
It just became.
Show's over.
This
The
is why
part-
music's
yeah.
cooler than comedy, because you could never be like, yeah, let's have all our friends come over and do their sets while we smash this house.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, yeah, just rock your jams and we'll go nuts and it's perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true.
Well, we have a new challenge as Pure Chaos.
That's right.
What, a house smashing party
Yeah.
for stand up?
Yeah.
Hope you're ready to make another documentary about 3 comics who didn't quite make it.
It's a roast battle.
Yeah.
Okay, so party, that's the whole day. They're looking at the end, and they said it looks like this haunted house, just like this eerie thing with like an empty shell of a house. everything that you could
Full of
possibly
shit.
do to it.
Full of human shit.
Yeah, you can see it right there. There's some shit right there. So, here's the thing that I was going to show you from earlier, if I can find it written on the walls. But,
So these are the crime scene photos that
There
the
it
police
is.
sent you.
yes,
Wow.
there's your Nazi reference right there.
Oh, good.
Oh
Wait,
my
what's this?
goodness.
That's fucking.
Oh, sei für was hier.
That's
Hell
that's
yeah.
lame. Was there?
There's
like
always got to be a
what was
Nazi
up
in the
with-
mix
yeah,
to
I was- I
ruin
guess
the
I was
punk show.
wondering- I guess I was wondering what the what was the Wichita punk scene like? Was it sort of? I mean, what were the elements that created it? Like, what was? What did it look like?
This is it. I'm telling you all about it. It was the Embarrassment. They were like the anchors of it, but like
I mean, it seems like
there-
there was a skinhead element.
I think
I think he means more like there's some punks like Breck who are like
Street- there's, like,
helping
street
people,
punks
like helping
and-
people. Then there's other punks who are like racist, like kind of
I don't-
skinheady
Yeah,
I
vibe.
don't
right.
think
Are
that
we like
exi- I-
mutual aid punks, or
I
are
don't
we
think
like?
that existed there. I think somebody was probably trying to be funny, but as
Yeah,
far
that's the
as,
vibe I kind of got. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't like there was that like the punk scene existing that the Embarrassment broke into. It was like country rock, classic rock cover bands, and then the Embarrassment started playing.
Also, I mean, even at the time, like the fucking Sex Pistols were like all sorts of Nazi iconography. There's a weird link between like punks who are kind of ignorant and are just like, people hate this, so
Yeah, it's just like shock
That's-
value.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
like
gonna
how
wear it.
I don't know much about the Sex Pistols, but like the Misfits were like that, right? Like their lyrics are about like rape and killing someone and aliens. Like it's like jarring for the sake of being jarring. And I don't think it was like a belief system that they had. I don't know. Were the Sex Pistols like that too? I guess.
I mean, definitely the Sex Pistols had no real politics other than like being
Anarchists.
anti-authoritarian.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, that's why the Embarrassment are always talk about like people say they defy categorization is because they aren't like that. That's not like that brutal, just like thrashing sound. It's like the time fits, and a lot of their songs are fast paced, but it's also more like tuneful and melodic and funnier and smarter without having like a message or anything. But so there's like post punk, sure, because that's what was happening, and it's like literally influenced by the Sex Pistols, but not that kind of sound that you're talking about. Okay, so we're getting toward the end here. So party happens. Next morning, the cops come because the landlord finds out and was like, I didn't actually mean that I was going to tear down the house. I think he just wanted him out of the house.
Fucking
So that's why we have crime scene photos and a newspaper article.
Oh shit!
Wow.
That is awesome.
And
I love how positive that headline is in retrospect. It's not like a landlord's nightmare. It's like strange, like, you know, we had a
Party
and-
got too
and
fun.
It was smashing.
Yeah.
We had a smashing time.
yeah, so that's what, so poor Ron goes into hiding because he's like, I really didn't think that I was doing anything wrong, but he finds out that the cops are there. So he like that's the subhead that like under the photo it says tenant goes into hiding, and he eventually turns himself in and he goes to the police station, and the cop, they thought it was gonna be bikers or something, but it's just like a nerdy looking art school kid. Sorry. And they work it out so that like, I think because the landlord admitted to saying he was going to do that, I think there's some sort of weird deal where he was like, if you help clean up, then I won't like press any charges. And it became clear that this wasn't like that there was a lot of miscommunication. And fuck landlords, basically, I think is the conclusion here.
Yeah.
Oh wait, fuck landlords? Oh, I thought it was gonna be this landlord's not that bad. He could have pressed charges.
I
He
don't
could have
think
been
he
like, I
could.
don't care what I fucking
No,
said.
dude, this is the funniest shit. It's like the landlord thinks he's got some like clever scheme. He's like, I'm sorry, you got to go. I'm going to tear down the house. And this go-getter's just like, oh no, I'll help you, man.
Yeah.
I think
We'll
that's what it
get
was.
this started for you.
That's Midwestern.
Go-getter.
That's Midwestern hospitality. It's like, it's like,
go-getter.
oh, you don't have to do all that by yourself. What accent is that? I don't know, but
Let me help you.
me and my buddies.
My mama taught me manners.
Yeah.
Help
Yeah.
out a neighbor.
You can't do this all alone.
Yeah.
It's such a big
You're gonna
job
have to
for a
hire
little
so many
landlord like yourself.
Who's gonna poop in the walls? Who's gonna overflow the plumbing in the house? I have to help.
Okay.
So did they rebuild the house? Could it be rebuilt, or was
No,
it
no.
totaled?
It was done. It was done. And it could not be rebuilt. It was total. It was a totaled house.
Too much mold. All the wood's warped.
And
all the fucking.
what somebody said when they were in there, they remembered seeing like things that looked like they had been renovated. Like if you looked around, it was like this house doesn't seem like it's gonna be demolished. So it was like something didn't feel right about it. But it was.
It's pretty surprising that the house didn't look that bad when it was being practiced in by a punk band. Like in my mind, it's like where they like take
Yeah,
your shoe-
right.
take your
It's like
shoes off
already
before
a
we
squat.
crash.
Poor Ron's just like, sorry I trusted you, man. Sorry, I believed the words that you said to me, man.
Dude, what a fucking. I would
So
love
how did this
to do
affect
that.
the legacy of the Embarrassment? Like, did this, because Ron had to go into hiding? I mean, did it make them like, oh, we got to go see the band that tore down the house?
That's why I wanted to center whatever like short version I was going to do around this thing. It kind of seemed like it would have like bolstered their reputation at first, but like so they immediately started writing, not immediately, but like they wrote a song about it. The Ron Claus wrecked his house, and it was like a demo version by the Embarrassment that shows up in the documentary, but they didn't like develop it as a song, and it kind of just like got pushed to the side. And then after the Embarrassment, Bill Gaufrier is the guitarist. He eventually moved to Boston and helped form this band called Big Dipper, which is much bigger than the Embarrassment. But they ended up developing it, and it became like one of their biggest songs, Ron Claus Wrecked His
Whoa,
House.
sick.
So it really lives on as like all these YouTube comments about like, I was at that party, man. And some people think it's in Lawrence. And so,
What happened to Ron?
oh, what happened to Ron? So after
He became a landlord.
Ron is such a landlord's name.
Ron really did go into hiding after that. So like that was the beginning of the band's era. Then they had their heyday, and after that he kind of disappeared. That's kind of one of the mysteries of the movie. But bass players are always like mysterious, you know. They're always
Wait,
like the
we
quiet
really,
ones.
like, is he alive? Do we know if he's alive?
He's alive. He's all right.
I feel like you
But
know where
He
is,
didn't
but you're
respond
not
to
telling
requests for
us.
comment.
It's sort of that. Yeah.
Wow.
He eventually went to Costa Rica. He's just like Dan, my co-director, got him in the 2006 era to do interviews, but he's like, I wouldn't have been able to get in touch with him when I started like 10 years later. But he's remained elusive. Yeah.
Interesting.
And what are the rest of the members like? Where are they based?
So both Bill and Brent is the drummer. They moved to Boston, and both were part of bigger bands. Del Fuegos was Brent's band. Big Dipper was Bill's. John got out of music. He's the singer. He got out of music right after. This is the only thing he ever did. He moved to Florida.
What does he do now?
He got into the airline industry, and I think he's retired now. But damn, I'm giving away
He
all
was
the
like a
punchlines
flight attendant.
of the movie. This is like the
Yeah,
where
you
are they
still got
now
the
part.
mystery of.
Oh, come on.
Nobody
the bass
watched this
player.
movie. I've ruined it for you.
I will bleep this whole part out.
Yeah, just the whole thing.
You have to watch the movie to see what they look like.
That's true. And to probably hear some of these tracks, I assume, does their music play a big part in the doc? I
Oh
suppose?
yeah, they drive the whole thing. I mean, except for like the childhood part where you use things from that era, but most of it from like 20 minutes on.
Did you get some?
is all
Is
music.
there footage? I mean, what was the camcorder scene like back then? Like, is there footage, like grainy footage of them playing any shows? Or like,
That is the thing.
Does
But
anything exist?
there's grainy footage for sure, but a lot of people like from bands from those era. I think even like Joy Division. I think there's not a lot of great footage, but the Embarrassment were like, because they were isolated and trying to do this thing earnestly from Kansas, they could have moved up here. They had all these connections from the DIY circuit, and they could have, but they were like, no, we could we're as good as anybody else. We're going to do it from here. They hired like videographers and local news people to shoot music videos and film one of their concerts in their practice spaces, which is like one of like the anchors of the movie. Like we keep cutting back to this. It's called the Flatiron Building in like North Wichita, and so there's a lot of really good footage of them, like a lot of grainy stuff too, but more than you would expect. We wondered when we started, like, is there going to be enough to justify this thing? But it turns out that there was like plenty.
That's fucking awesome. So that's kind of like, you know, these open micers in like Omaha who are like, I better get a 4K camera and put myself on Instagram. You know,
Yeah.
the worst jokes you've ever heard in the clearest definition you've ever seen. Not that they're obviously very good, but it's kind of like, you know, if we're gonna make it from Wichita, we need to be seen.
But some of the Wichita people have more followers than us, so it's
working. Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What bands would you say they sound like?
Well, that's the thing is, I mean, there's REM's early records sound a lot like the Embarrassment. I don't think like the quirkiness is a word that gets used a lot for them, or like the sense of humor is there, but like the general pace and, you know, the way it was produced sounds pretty similar, but they clearly go in a different direction. Embarrassment's like locked into this like 4-year time span where it's just like they never quite got that proper album. Like it was a really, really well produced EP and then like a short LP in '83, but yeah, that's like probably the closest thing I would say. But really, it's so true that they defy categorization. Like the second you hear some of their songs, it's just like this. How could you turn this riff into a song and make it melodic at the same time? It really sounds like people who taught themselves how to play, but were so talented that they could turn it into something.
So they do kind of just like by reputation. It reminds me of like what you hear people say about the Velvet Underground in New York. Like, like, you know, they only made one record and everybody who heard that record started a band.
It's so true. Yeah, that's why they always stood out to me. And when Todd Haynes' documentary came out right when we were like finalizing this thing, we watched it and like talked about it a lot, because even though it's the Velvet Underground and their household names these days, the movie and the trajectory of the band kind of like they're like parallel. It's almost like a New York 60s version of the same thing, where they like anchored a scene, eventually fizzled out, and nobody ever quite appreciated them enough. But it's like just on the, you know, another scale. So anyway, so as we were finishing this thing, so Dan and I eventually, like, it's a long story short, I eventually called him in 2019 and was like, we're never going to be able to finish this thing if we don't join forces. So we did. Started with a 10-minute short doc that was used as their acceptance video when they got inducted into the Kansas Music Hall of Fame during COVID.
Oh,
so it was like a virtual ceremony.
I was there watching the stream.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Didn't have a lot going
70,
on.
Maybe 50 something of you.
To say that, just say it was really good.
You leave that other part out. Jesus Christ.
So after that, we were like, he was like, okay, let's really do this. And so we swapped like countless gigabytes of recorded like video and audio footage and notes and stuff. We spent basically all of lockdown turning this thing into a feature-length thing, having never met. We did all virtual. Technology allows for you to like really, you work in the same program and like sync it all up, and it somehow worked. And we actually didn't meet in person until the thing premiered last September in Wichita at the film
crazy.
festival.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But during it, I always imagined that if I was actually going to do something, we'd have to reenact the house party, right? Like in Lawrence, it seemed like the perfect place, like a college town with a lot of shitty houses, a lot of bands. Like you just throw a party with a band playing and use it for B-roll, not destroy the house, but like for just the party going part of it. And I'll do like close-ups for destruction later. Obviously, COVID happened, so I couldn't do that. But right before we finished our first feature-length cut, I had a detached garage at my house in Kansas City, put up like 2 false walls, and there was a window in there, so a corner of it kind of looked like a house, and invited like 10 friends, a bunch of spray paint, tools, and for one night we had the house wrecking party in my garage.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And like put like turned it black and white, made it look all grainy, and mixed it in with some audience footage from some of their practice space, and so you really can't tell the difference.
Sick.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You were Ron for the night.
I was, yeah.
Did anyone end up hospitalized from your party?
I don't think so. I think I bought like a shitty small sledgehammer at an antique store, and my older brother said it was like duct tape for the splinter, like the cracked wood, and he said that there's a great shot that's in the movie of him like, swinging the sledgehammer and hitting something. He said that he did get a splinter from that. So.
The 2023 hardcore house party set. I got a splinter.
A
We built this
splinter.
second faux wall, so nothing got hurt.
How punk rock is just using a little pair of tweezers and going.
Yeah.
That's like
Yep.
that's like how like old graffiti used to be like, how could you get your tag on like a difficult thing, and now it's like Sprite commissions a whole wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're still doing graffiti, but it's like you got permission. It's like you're allowed. Well, that was fucking sick. I think we got to wrap it up because it's almost 4 o'clock and we have an open mic, and I think we're almost at 45 minutes or so.
But
Good.
tell us again the name of the doc and
The name of the movie is "We Were Famous, You Don't Remember the Embarrassment." It's one of their song lyrics that sort of captures.
Do you know what it will be streaming on?
I believe it'll be on Night Flight. Have you ever heard of Night Flight?
No.
That's what we've got worked out so far. It'll probably be on Amazon.
I was gonna
the
say, yeah,
major-
you could get most stuff on Amazon. I
Yeah,
think.
I think so. Our distributor is a guy named Matt Grady from Factory 25. They put out a lot of cool independent docs, a lot of music themed movies out of Brooklyn here.
Is there an Instagram or something people could follow, like for the movie or anything like that?
We got all the socials. It is Embarrassment Doc on most of them. Embos Doc. The fans call them the Embos. So for our website is www.embosdoc.com. EMBOS and then Embarrassment Doc on Instagram.
Cool. Sweet.
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to see this
Well,
movie.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me,
Pod,
guys.
First guest, inaugural guest.
Yeah.
I think this came together. There's a lot of projects too. Everything, the timing works out. When you told me about the party pod, I was like, well,
I've got a party for you.
Have a party.
I got a party for you.
So now we just have to have a house wrecking party.
We could still reenact it
For
again.
the premiere, yeah.
Is how we
Go to fucking.
go full circle.
Yeah.
That's right. If we want to have we could have a pure chaos or party. We could have a party pod premiere of the movie and wreck wherever we are while we're watching it.
I
Hell
love
yeah.
Do a live podcast in a house we're destroying. We'll bring a generator in case someone decides to plug up all the drains.
Yeah. Sick. Well, thanks again.
Thanks,
We've
guys.
been the Pure Chaos Party Pod. Until next party. I'm a news anchor again.